Guys, what's going on? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and thanks for checking out today's video. Much appreciated. Actually just got off the water, had an on the water lesson today at Table Rock, and it's made me want to do today's video, guys. You guys know that I've talked about Table Rock a bunch as far as the amount of overabundance, or not overabundance, the ridiculous amount of tournaments that are on the lake anymore, and a lot of the development that's going on in the lake that's really harming the aesthetics of the lake. And I sort of want to dig into that a little bit more today. I want to try to keep you guys updated on stuff like this, because I don't ever want to be apathetic to where, you know, I do a video on something like this that's important and then you just forget about it. I'd like to keep the when something new comes up, I like to keep the awareness of the topic, you know, going as much as possible. So we're going to get into that, guys. So anyway, here's sort of what's going on as far as the topic of the video, guys. Table Rock Lake, I have never seen anything like it this spring. As far as the lake is getting, there's not even a word to describe how over tournament fish this lake is the last month. It was like, today it was, you know, Wednesday during the we're out there. Guys, I've never seen so many boats out on a Wednesday. I heard there was some tournament going on Wednesday and Thursday here. We got the BFL this Saturday that I'm fishing in. They got the BFL there. They've got another, I heard it's an over 300 boat high school or college or youth tournament going on. They got a Joe Bass tournament. They got a bunch of club tournaments. They got a 150 boat kayak tournament going out of the lake. Every single launch ramp on the lake's got big tournaments going out of it. And last week it was the same thing. I had a good buddy of mine that we fished the lake together, you know, since the 1970s, and he told me that the last weekend when he was down here, it was the worst he'd ever seen it as far as fishing pressure. I had another buddy tell me the same thing 2 weeks ago down here, and when I was here 3 weeks ago for the BFL, it was the worst I'd ever seen in fishing the lake for over 50 years. The lake is getting absolutely abused by tournaments, and I want to dig into that a little bit, along with the bulldozers that could be heard all over the lake today, you know, ripping down trees on the mountaintops here. So anyway, you guys may know better than I do. I don't know who is in charge of issuing tournament permits for this lake. Somebody said it was the Water Patrol, somebody said it was the Corps of Engineers. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter who it is. Whoever is in charge of issuing tournaments for this lake is not doing a good job, or they're not doing a responsible job. Because here's the thing about it: when you've got, you know, 700 to 1,000 tournament boats a weekend going out, plus a ton of recreational fishermen, if nothing else, it's a safety issue. On top of that, these fish are spawning down here right now, and they have been spawning for 3 weeks. So you've got thousands of tournament boats on this lake every single week, taking all these fish off the spawning beds, you know, when they need to be spawning undisturbed, and it's just irresponsible in my opinion. So I don't understand why they can do this. Okay, let's say, for example, you're a tournament organization. And guys, I want to clarify something. I am not anti-tournament. I'm a professional tournament fisherman. I am anti too many tournaments being on top of each other. And here's what I don't understand about the people that issue these permits. If all these tournament organizations come and say, okay, we want to have a tournament, you know, May 6th or whatever at Table Rock Lake, they need to say, no, you guys can't do it that weekend. There's already 2 tournaments on the lake. You're going to have to come a different weekend. It's like, it's easy to do. We have 52 weeks in a year. It's like, start having some tournaments in November and December. And, you know, if you want to watch football or deer hunt, decide if you want to watch football or deer hunt or fish bass tournaments. But there's no reason to just slap all these tournaments right on top of everybody. And it's not just the tournament, guys, it's the practicing prior to the tournament, because you guys there's guys down here practicing every single day of the week from different tournaments on top of each other. So from a conservation standpoint, from a safety standpoint, from just a pleasurable standpoint, it's a bad deal for everybody. There's nobody that benefits from this other than the local economy that gets guys, you know, buying gas for their boat or something like that. So obviously, at the end of the day, obviously that's what, you know, drives this, which, you know, and the lake suffers a result. So, okay, on top of that, let's talk a little bit about the continued, just the freaking trashing of the aesthetic beauty of the Ozarks here. We're back, and here's the thing about it, guys. One of the special things, and one of the things that makes Table Rock magical, or it did, was the natural beauty of this place down here. You could be running down the lake back 40 years ago, and you'd see these luscious green mountains everywhere with no sign of civilization. Guys, those days are gone. They're gone every single day. These mountaintops down here in the Ozarks on Table Rock Lake are getting bulldozed down at an alarming rate. We were down today fishing one of my favorite coves on the lake, and all of a sudden this D9 cat starts up and started knocking down trees, pushing rock, just freaking, destroying the top of this hilltop right next to where we're fishing on. And all they're doing is they're putting in weekend homes for guys that want to spend $3 million to have a weekend home on Table Rock Lake. So here's what we have to ask ourselves, is like, what is more valuable as far as terms of the human experience? Is it more valuable for somebody to come down here and have the therapeutic experience and the cathartic experience of being in a pristine nature area and seeing the undisturbed Ozark Mountains? Or would you rather come down here and see these hilltops flattened over, by millionaires that are coming in, putting up their weekend $3 to $5 million houses? And the problem you have, the perpetuation of this, it's not just Table Rock, it's every lake across the country. You got all these zoning and planning commissions and all the local government that are in cahoots with the developers, and it's like the fox guard and the hen house as far as protecting the aesthetics and the environment around these lakes across the country. It's a shame is what it is. And I hear the same thing, because I'll obviously on this video I'll get guys saying, "Oh, Randy, you're part of the problem. You're down there fishing the tournaments too." Yeah, I'm fishing the tournaments, but I'm sitting here saying we got too many tournaments. We need to have them spread out across the lake. And then I'll have guys saying, it's like, "Oh, Randy, why don't you go live in a teepee somewhere and fish out of a canoe," something like that. Guys, that's not the point of what we're talking about. Who needs a $3 million weekend home on Table Rock Lake? It's like, we don't own anything. A lot of these people have these fanatical property rights, like by God, they can do anything they want to with their property because they own it. We don't own nothing, man. All we do is we are caretakers. We are simply caretakers to hand off and pass down this earth to the next generation better than we found it. And it's not better than we found it if you got your hilltops bulldozed down with $3 million condos on it versus having the aesthetic value of the wilderness in these particular areas. And we need that. Guys, we have got to have natural places. We have got to have natural areas that are completely undisturbed by development. It's like the value on that goes well beyond anything. And it's like, people say, it's like, well, you're trying to stop growth and progress, Andy. And it's like, that's not growth and progress. Destroying the environment and the aesthetic beauty of a lake is not progress. It's going backwards. So anyway, guys, the reason I'm doing this video is I love Table Rock Lake, man. This is where I started fishing. This is where my mom and dad took me when I was a little bitty kid. It's like, and it's not the same, man. It's the Table Rock Lake that I knew and grew up and loved, along with my buddies that did the same thing. It's changing. It's not the same way. The lake's becoming dirty. The lake's becoming overdevelopment. You're losing the quality of the fishing. The shoreline's getting covered up by docks. It's just a freaking tragedy what's going on down here. And it's not just Table Rock. Every time I do a video like this, I have guys text me and send me messages, and you can look in the comments. It's the same where they're at. It's going on everywhere. And it's like the old adage that man destroys everything they touch, and they do. Man will destroy everything it's touched unless we have, responsible people in charge to stand up to that. So anyway, guys, I'm not real happy about it. I'm not real happy about the freaking, whoever's allowing, thousands of boats on the lake every weekend. There was a boat wreck down here, 2 weeks ago because of that. And not happy about seeing those D9 cats knocking down 100-year-old oak trees every time I'm down here fishing. I'm just a little pissed. Not a little pissed, I'm a lot pissed about it. So anyway, guys, just wanted to do that video. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll check later. See you.